The football season is officially back. Week 2, it's a new season. Like we're entering a new season. So, episode 2, I hope y'all enjoy this. Let's get into it. What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Aaron B. Welcome back to T&T Sportz, episode 2. My mic wants to act up a little bit. Let me just adjust that real quick. We're not going to stop the show, but I hope y'all having a great Wednesday and everything. We didn't get to do T&T Sportz last week. Forgot we didn't finish off Hard Knocks, the Tacos and Touchdown. We had to finish off right. We had a great time with my guy Jeff. Talked about the Ohio State versus Texas recap. And then, we go on our banters about anything that's going on in football and random things. But it was a great show. Shout out to my guy Jeff Hunt for sure for being on the show. But this week we're back with T&T Sportz. So you already know we always got to go talk about the Word of God. Let's get into it. What our Bible verse of the week is Isaiah 43. If you see at the bottom, in the west, it's supposed to be in the wasteland, but on StreamYard, you only can have 200 words on here. So I'm just going to let y'all know at the end it's wasteland, but let's get into it. So Isaiah 43, 18, 19. Forget the former things. Do not dwell on the past. See, I'm doing new things. Now things are springs up. Do you perceive it? I'm making a way in the wilderness and in the streams and in the wasteland. So I wanted to get into a little discussion about it. Like I had a conversation piece on there. We're all, when it comes to us, there's always like certain situations that go on in life. Like you starting a new career, maybe you're starting school and then you're not at the traditional age, like 18 or nothing like that. You may be in your 20s, 30s, or 40s. You starting school. It's something new, but it's something that God put into you that, hey, I want to go back to school, better my life for me, my family, and everything else. But you come across self-doubt, or this anxiety and things go on in life that's like, oh, maybe am I meant for this? I'm worried about I'm too old for this or nothing like that. But if God put it in you to do it, He's gonna get you through it. There's gonna be some ups and downs. That's just a part of life. That's when you need to have faith in God and everything. But my discussion points with that is like we gotta let go of what holds us back through these tough times. Like there's gonna be some ups and downs, but that's when you need to put your faith in God and everything and go through these things. And just embrace the overall things that are going to happen in life. I know there's certain things you're worried about. I've been through it. I'm not going to say, oh, I'm perfect. I'm definitely not. I'm even just like the rest of us on that come on and talking everything. But there you got to embrace the changes and everything that goes on in your life. They could lead to possibilities and positivity. But there's going to be some ups and downs, but there's going to be some ups that you're like, man, I'm glad I did that. I'm glad I followed through, sticking in school and everything, getting that degree or getting the certification that you wanted to get. But you were like, oh, am I ready for this or I'm not? Like if God put it in your life to do it, it's gonna happen. It's not gonna happen on your time. It's gonna happen on God's time. But before we even get into even talking about it, my third one is God provides in desolate season. Because at the end you're talking about wilderness, and when you look at that, you're talking about like times where you feel like you're isolated from from like you see everybody around you's like doing all these things, and you kind of feel like you're isolated. Like okay, that's when God's calling you. Like He wants you to focus on Him, and then focus on the prize, and that's like building a relationship with God, or like I said, getting that degree or getting that diploma or whatever that's going on in your life, or a new career, anything. you're gonna go through those times where you're gonna feel like isolated, but it'd be worth it. So you can stay focused. Like I think all of us go through times and seasons where we're gonna have to be isolated. We're not. It's not the time where we're gonna have fun all the time. Yeah, there's seasons for that, and there's a season where you're gonna have to just be focused on what's going on that you need to get done. That's a part of it. Like those are my three things. So if when you can put in your notes, what is holding you back? Embrace the renewal, and God provides in those desolate seasons where you just feel like you're in the wilderness, but through those times, that's when that change is coming. It's like you just need to get your mind right, because if you're just still in that season where you just I'm going to do this and that, this and that, sometimes you're gonna have seasons like things are gonna be held back and everything, and that's what you need to focus on. God, focus on what He's got for you in this season, and that's one of my main points into our Bible verse of the week, and that is Isaiah 43, 18, and 19. Let's get into some fantasy football. We had our Faith Family Fantasy Football League on the ESPN app. Let me get this up real quick. So I took an L this week, guys. I took an L. Shout out to my guy Demarius. He beat me, and I beat myself. You know what I did do? I should have checked the news. Xavier Worthy was out. He's out for a few weeks, and I was high and mighty getting him when we did our draft and everything. I was like, I gotta get Xavier Worthy. If y'all didn't know, I'm a Longhorn fan. I write for Hook 'em Headlines. I talk about the Texas Longhorns. Yeah, it's right there in the back. I have a good feeling Xavier Worthy's gonna be that guy that you need to get in fantasy football. So on my roster, I got Jalen Hurts at quarterback, Devon Achane did some really good points, James Cook, Puka Nacua, George Pickens, another guy I thought they were going to really show up week one. But I believe week two, that's going to be where he shows out, because it was a good game. I know we're going to talk about that in a little bit. And let me see. I have Mark Andrews. I thought Mark Andrews was on the comeback a little bit, but he did not. The Ravens everybody was showing out. Zay Flowers, Derrick Henry, of course, and some other guys, but there was little to no production when it came to Mark Andrews. Him and Lamar Jackson ain't connected like they were like a couple years ago. So took an L with that one. I'm still keeping these guys, by the way. Who did I have? I did have George Pickens, but as my flex. But now this week I got Tony Pollard. I got Broncos defense. I think is going to do really good this year. Jesse Bates, the kicker for the Lions. So I have a good team, but a couple players production. But overall, I'm going to give this the Mars team was ready to play. Let me see how bad I lost last week. Let me see if I can find matchups from last week for y'all. I just know I took that L. I can't find it. But, yep, I got my week two. I'm playing against my guy, Rudy Compost Jr. Shout out to Rudy. All the things he's doing for Sweep the League, network, and everything. For sure. I have 50% chance of winning this game, so fingers crossed I can get the dub week two. It's a little tough. Got some injuries on here, questionable with James Cook. Had to sit out Xavier Worthy. But guess what Aaron Beason do as a change? He's going to make sure to watch the news reports and everything and not forget that he needs to switch players due to injuries, because the injury bug is starting early this year, and I'm not happy about it. But it's all good. All good fun. I got 4 other fantasy football leagues, and I did 3 fantasy football drafts in one day. 2 were on the same time. Imagine that, flipping back and forwards to make sure you're getting the right guys to win. So, yeah, that's how I'm doing in fantasy football for this week. The other ones I won all the rest of them except one of them. It's like a dynasty league where it just continuously go. We don't do that one. They don't do drafts, but the other ones got the dub. Another one, so I end up at 3-2. So far good. So far it's been pretty good. But let's get into the waiver wires. who are the guys that you need to pick up in the waiver wires this week for week 2? And here's my week 2 guys you should get. First off is Calvin Austin. If y'all didn't watch that Steelers and Jets game, you missed a treat. That was a balls to the wall type of game where, Justin Fields doing a really good job utilizing his feet, throwing the rock and everything. Brees Hall had a really good game. And then the other side, Aaron Rodgers was slinging that ball. He was getting it out to DK Metcalf, his tight end, free move. But the main guy I started noticing was Calvin Austin. Like, okay, Calvin Austin is definitely going to be wide receiver too for the Steelers. And he's that ultimate slot guy for them. And last week he had, 4 receptions for 70 yards and a touchdown. So he could be that guy that's going to get you between 60 to 100 yards a game. He's very shifty. He's definitely developing that route tree. He's explosive, and he can play in the outside as well. As long as he stay healthy, he's a really good player on this team. And he also adds value in the return game. I know he plays on punt return, so be on the lookout for those. Those special team return points really do come in clutch when they really do, especially if they get a touchdown. So I would definitely, as my number one, get Calvin Austin as like a wide receiver 3 option on your team. I had him on one of my teams, so I'm excited to see what he can do for me week 2. But let's get into number 2. We're going to stick to wide receiver, and that is Marquise Hollywood Brown, who last week had 10 catches out of 16 targets for 99 yards. He led the Chiefs in targets and receptions after Xavier Worthy left with a shoulder. That hurt. And then also you don't have Rashid Rice. So building that connection with Patrick Mahomes, I believe that you should have Marquise Brown for now, especially in these few weeks. I think he'd be a great addition to have for like the short-term reasons. I think when Rashid Rice and Xavier Worthy back, I think they're going to get most of the targets. But if you can get him and he's like the last player in your team, I would definitely add a guy like Hollywood Brown on that team. If you need a good wide receiver 3 or 4 on this team, make those explosive points, I'll get Hollywood Brown for sure. If you can't get Calvin Austin. Last but not least, running back from the Seattle Seahawks, Zach Charbonnet. Zach Charbonnet had 12 carries for 47 yards and a rushing touchdown. Led the backfield in fantasy scoring, outperforming Kenneth Walker in that role. I believe one thing about Zach Charbonnet, I did a scout report on him when he in the draft. He's a north and south type runner, plays physical, and he's got some shiftiness to his game. The biggest thing to him is that third down upside, looking the short yardage and everything. I think Charbonnet could be that short yardage back and get you at least 8 or 10 touchdowns this season, and he's gonna get you 8 to 8 and then 12 points per game. So I wouldn't mind him as like an RB3. I think he's gonna bring solid points, especially if Duty, can't walk down with injuries and stuff throughout these couple of years. I think Zach Charbonnet would be a good addition to add to your fantasy football team. So those are my waiver wire players this week. My microphone don't want me to be great, but we're going to keep going. So let's get into the last, and that is the state of the Dallas Cowboys. And it was the NFL opener game versus the Eagles, the Super Bowl champion Eagles. I hate to say that, but I'm just saying it because they did it anyways, for sure. But the first few seconds of the game, Dak and Jalen Carter were going I don't know what was going on. They were talking mess. Dak Prescott spit on the ground, and Jalen Carter doubled down and spit on Dak's chest, and he was kicked out of the game, which was a major factor to their defensive line. Dumb move by Jalen Carter. He even admitted he shouldn't have did it, but I guess you can call it heat at the moment, but you should never spit on nobody anyways. But that game, the energy was physicality on both ends. And I was happy to see the physicality on the Cowboys because our new head coach, former offensive coordinator of the Cowboys, Brian Schottenheimer, said this team was going to be physical and they were physical, and I was happy about it. Javonte Williams looked solid. I know he didn't get carried for 4 yards, but he was leaning towards it. He was our lead back with over 2 TDs. We didn't have Jaden Blue, so we had Miles Sanders, had explosive play, but he fumbled the ball. That one hurt. But the one that really hurt was, man, even though CD had over 100 yards, he dropped the ball 4 times in that game. And one of those could have won that last one to get a touchdown in the fourth quarter, and he dropped it. I was like, oh, he had it right. It was just right here. We could have got a TD for that. We could have beat the Eagles. Man, week 1 would have been. But it's one of those games. They lost 24-20. You heard about it, but you're like, okay, this team might be on to something. Might be on to something. And then the addition of Kenny Clark to this team, you can see the difference in the run stopping. They said when he was on the field, they could only run the ball 2.6 yards per carry. So you see the difference in the run stopping. But you can see this team needs a pass rush after losing Michael Parsons. And we had an official visit with Davion Clowney today. He visited practice and everything, but he left the building without a contract. So that means there's a 50% chance he might not be in the Dallas Cowboys. Hopefully they continue to look at some pass rushers or something like that. I think we just need a designated pass rusher to get this. He's not going to have the same impact as Michael Parsons, of course, but look at somebody that can bring impact at the pass rush, because we were kind of in dire need for it when we played the Eagles. And we need to do some QB spots with these. We got some guys that are doing their quarterbacks, and they're going to utilize their legs like Jalen Hurts, who basically was their leading rusher. But they did a solid job containing Saquon, kept him under 100 yards. He did get a TD, but that was a good sign by this run defense. But we need to figure out the situation with these dual threat quarterbacks. If they're watching film, they're like, okay, we're gonna let our quarterback run. So some QB spots or some things where you could just contain these dual threat quarterbacks, because they're gonna try to do something. You can stop a running back, what you can do against our quarterback that can run for 100 yards or something like that. So that's my takes on the Dallas Cowboy game. Let me make sure I'm not missing any notes. I got my notes right here on this game. Another guy that showed out was Marshawn Neal. I was impressed with what he did, setting the edge and everything, kind of bringing that similar impact you've seen with DeMarcus Lawrence. Some other guys, Maris Leofau, when he finally got in the game, you could see the difference in the energy on the linebacker field. He is the bona fide most athletic linebacker we got right now too. DeMarvin Overshown is back after recovering after ACL. Sam Warren and them are basically the sideline to sideline guys, but they just don't bring that heat like a Maris Leofau. But they're gonna bring physicality, but you just, especially when you're playing against a team that can run the ball, you need that athletic linebacker now. That's what Leofau did. And today right now, our corner, we lost our star corner. That's Deron Bland, who's supposed to be missing multiple weeks due to a foot injury. So we're back then at cornerback. And if you've seen Cowboy Twitter, we are basically putting the back signal, bring back Stephon Gilmore, bring Gilly back. I wouldn't mind it. We need to bring that veteran presence. But I know we had guys like, Reddy Stewart, and I can't pronounce his name, but he was on the Chargers, drafted him by the floor. He's like 6'2", 201. Let me sure. Got to get my respect to this guy. Let me find him real quick. Because right now at nickel, it's definitely be Reddy Stewart, who was a part of Eberflus's defense last year. Oh, Trick Quincy Bridges. He's a big corner. He's more of the boundary corner, but at nickel, and most likely at nickel, we're gonna have Reddy Stewart starting, and backup would be Zion Childress, who I was a big fan of what he did this preseason. I'm glad we got to keep him on practice squad, because I was concerned that some teams are picking, but he's a physical type of corner and this solid coverage. And we'll see what Reddy Stewart does while Deron Bland's be missing these few weeks. So I'm interested to see what they do against the Giants and their defensive line. They got Russell Wilson starting, so it should be an interesting game. I believe we're gonna come back with the dub. So excited to see what the Dallas Cowboys doing. But we back next week, bringing the word of God as well. Talk fantasy football talk, state of the Dallas Cowboys, and probably some other things as well. I'm excited for football season and all the stuff that's going on. And I'm busy, writing articles for Sideline Sports and hooking headlines. I enjoy it. I also got a new venture that y'all gonna be hearing about in a couple of days, so be on the look out for that as well. I hope y'all have a great rest of y'all's week. God bless. Keep praying and everything. Y'all have a good day. Peace.